Awesome, it worked! Yeah! Okay, let's get started. Okay, I'm back for round two. Well, for my round two, for another video for chapter 5 this time. I'm only doing this video because I want that party. So, let's get started too. Okay, so, yeah, you can see my mouse. Okay. So, what are we learning today? Well, we're learning roots and rational exponents. You can see my little crappy Christmas tree there, but you know what? Just enjoy it because it took me a whole 10 minutes to make it. So please be nice about it. Anyway, so chapter 15 was mostly about roots and rational exponents. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have learned this since second grade. It's pretty easy, simple to the point. It's not really confusing. But just to review, what is an exponent? Well, an exponent or slash power is you have a number which is substituted for m, and the x is substituted for the exponent, which is the power. And so what a exponent is that you have a number and then a little tiny number on top, and you must multiply your number by how many times. So say you have 2 to the third, you would have to have, like say you had 2 to the third right here, and so you have to multiply the number itself 3 times. 1, 2, 3. See? 3 times. And then you get your answer, which is 8, and then it was erased. So, yeah. And so that's the exponent form. Now, the radical form is when you want to switch it back to the power form. So it's simple. So you have it in a square root. You have your number inside, and then your another exponent outside. Sorry, my brother came in. Anyway, you have a number inside your square root, and then you have a number outside. If there is no number outside, that means the exponent is 2. Now, what it means, it's asking what number times this many gets you this. So you might be confused now because I'm not really good at explaining, but what it means is, like, say you have 64 inside, right? And you have 3 outside. Well, what you want to know is what number times itself 3 times gets you 64. And since we're not allowed to use a calculator, I'm not using a calculator, and I figured 4 times 4 times 4 gives you a 64. So your answer would be these 4. So that's basically what an exponent and what the power is, and what a radical is. Now, since we're done with that, we're going to get straight to the good stuff, and it's going to be pretty easy, so let's just hop to it. And all right. Okay, so excuse that embarrassing dance, but you told me to keep it interesting, and I'm keeping it interesting. That just came up and I did it. Anyway, the next one we're talking about is zero exponents. I'm not going to take my time on this. This is what it is. If the bases are with the zero exponent, it equals 1. That's it. That's all. That's all it is. Like examples. God. Okay. I'll just do it while I'm doing this. I said I was going to take my time on this. Okay. 1, 2, yeah. Okay. Basically, 0. That's a 0. It's 1. If it's 3 to the power of 0, it's 1. If it's this number, I don't even know what it is. 1, 2, 3. 1 million. If it's 1 million to the 0 power, it's 1. That's it. That's all. On to the next one.
Like so whatever, and she can do so much better. I think we should get together now, and that's what everyone's talking about. I don't like your girlfriend, that's right now, right? You need a new one. I could be your girlfriend. I know that you like
Sorry for I keep procrastinating. That sucks. Okay, next up is the quotient of powers, and it's basically the opposite of the product of powers. When you're instead of multiplying, you're dividing. And so, when you're dividing two bases that are the same, your exponents, you must subtract your exponents. Now, as stated there, if you end up with a negative exponent, you basically have to do the rule from the negative exponent lesson that I just went over. So yeah, let's go to the examples. So I got the example 5 over 5 to the 7th power over 5 to the 4th power. Since they're the same, they stay the same, and when you subtract 7 from 4, you get 3. When you solve it, you end up, when you go 5 to the 3rd, when you solve it, it's multiply 5. Basic math. And here is an example of when you end up with a negative exponent. So 7 minus 11 equals negative 4. So you have x to the negative 4th power. You put it under 1. You equal that to, you do the rule of the negative exponent. That. Then you flip it to the other side, which will be which you would get 1 over x to the 4th. Now this one's a little complex, but it's the same thing, same rules. So you got x to the 7th, y to the 8th, and z all over x to the 5th, y to the 1, no, y to the 12, and now it's hard to see, even I got confused on my writing, and z to the 2nd, trust me, that's a 2. I know it's crappy, but it's a 2. So, when you subtract all of them, 7 minus 5 is 2, so that's positive, that's it's on top. 8 minus 12 is negative 4, and z1 to the first 1 power minus z to the 2nd power gives you negative 1. So you have 2 negatives on top. So you put it all over 1. X has a positive exponent, so it stays on top. And the y and the z move to the bottom, which gives you the answer x to the 2nd all over y to the 4th and z to the 1st. Basic math. On to next.